One of the things that I've often seen people struggle with, and to a greater or lesser degree, depending on their personality, is when you are put into kind of a leadership position, and especially actually in tech, it happens a lot. But you're potentially a quieter, a more introverted leader. I'm kind of curious about what your experience has been there as well in terms of people that you've worked with. Have there been things that you've picked up on about what those types of leaders can do to really build followership, and I suppose to a degree, like combat some of that imposter syndrome that comes with not seeing other people project like confidence, strength, but maybe not feeling that you can do it yourself?
Yeah, and it's I write about introverts in the book, and that's why I always know when someone's read it when I'm talking to them, because it's the bit that people sort of go, "Oh, this is, actually what you're saying is you don't have permission to be a poor communicator if you're an introvert."
No,
and that's what I have experienced. I have, seen people say, "Oh, they're not very good at communicating, but it's just because they're an introvert." And I'm like, hang on a minute, Barack Obama's an introvert. He's pretty good at speaking. It's, and this is why I don't like authenticity as well. It's like it allows you to behave in a certain way that actually isn't justified. And if we look at introvert versus extrovert, that's become such a big phrase and such a big thing. But it's about where you get your energy from. And actually, things like confidence, self-esteem, imposter syndrome, they're all different elements of your personality and your behavior and your traits and all of those things. So we have to know those things about us and we have to work on those. And imposter syndrome is more your environment than actually you. That there's a bit of a distinction there.
Yes.
But if you find that you are someone who does identify as an introvert and therefore, you want to listen more in conversations, you don't want to jump in with a solution, you need that reflective time, that's absolutely fine. But you can still learn the skills to be able to communicate effectively. You just might do it in a slightly different way to someone who's standing up there, waving their arms about like I'm always doing. And it's just a different communication style. Neither of those are right or wrong. It's just learning what your style is and not comparing yourself to someone else and thinking I must be more like them. Because if everyone was more like that person, then people, if everyone was like me and it'd be exhausting, right? So you've got to have that balance. And certainly a balance in a team that allows it to really function really, really well. So I always say comparison is the thief of joy. If you're looking at other people and thinking, I need to be more like that, don't do that. Find your communication style. You might need to prep more. You might need more time. You might need more research. You might need some support. You might want to rehearse. All of those things are fine, but you have to build that in so that when you show up, you're showing up in a way where people see you as capable, they find you trustworthy, and they see your vision. They find you inspiring. They feel that you have got passion for what you're doing. That's important. But being passionate and inspiring can come across in very different ways and is interpreted in very different ways from different people. So it's just really doing that work on yourself. And I talk about that quite a lot in the book. Like you have to know yourself and work on that to be able to sort of delve into which are the bits that you want to really explore.
You made some really good points there. And as I was reading the book, and I was also reflecting on this whole idea of introversion, and it's like the fact that if you're an introvert, you can sometimes look at people and you look at other leaders or other managers, your colleagues, and you think everybody else is an extrovert. It's just me. I'm the only introvert. And so, whereas the reality is there are loads of us who are introverts, and we just get better at kind of finding our groove. And I suppose to a degree, we do, like some of us do get to the point where we do mask it effectively. I know in my own case, like there are times where there are certain situations that I know I dread. And it's those things that make me realize I am still quite introverted at heart. But then you just learn to deal with it, right? So
yeah, and you learn to deal with your energy. Like people will see me on a stage or on a podcast with you and go, "Oh, she's such an extrovert and she's out there," But actually, I've got huge introverted tendencies. I manage my energy, and that's really important as a leader because you've got to be able to show up at the right times and have the energy when it's needed, if it's change or whatever it is. So I do things like my weekends are quite quiet. If my week's very busy, that later on I'll be, just sort of relaxing on the sofa. I might go for a massage or for a walk, or, it doesn't matter. There's always things built around those high energy moments for me that help me manage that. And this comes back to knowing yourself, because it's just knowing where you need to get your energy and how you need to replenish it. And that's, I talk with, being a leader, you have to know that, because people are relying on you. People are looking up. And if you're looking up, then we're all doomed. So you've got to look after yourself. That's important, so that you can lead everybody else.
Hey, if you're getting value from today's conversation, make sure you subscribe right now so you don't miss any future episodes of the Aspire to Inspire podcast.